that is just asking for scammers, pickpocketers, and robbers to come. So you want to travel to Europe in 2023? Girl, I gotcha! Hi you guys, Big Daddy Quinn here. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy you clicked on this. If you are wondering what should I do and how should I plan for my next trip to Europe in the year 2023, fear not, because Big Daddy's here to help you out. And I'm here on with some tips and tricks for your next trip to Europe. I was lucky enough to be able to travel to Europe in November of 2022, and I had such a blast. It was wonderful, yet there are some things that I wish I would have known and that I'm really glad that I did know about. So I'm going to share some of those things with you to help you out whenever you are deciding for your next trip to Europe. Tip number 1, make sure you are prepared for the weather going to Europe. It really depends on what time of year you're going. That depends on what you should bring. Europe does have all 4 seasons in most places. Winter can get very cold and summer can get pretty hot. I was going during fall, going into winter. Boy, it was starting to get really cold. I'm really glad that I pre-looked ahead at all of the weather that was going to be there for that week. I looked at the 10-day forecast just to kind of see and gauge what I should be packing as far as sweaters, coats. Do I need to layer up? So obviously it is going to be different if you are going during the summertime. Going during the summertime means you get to pack lighter, you get to bring more shorts, bring your tank tops, bring your bathing suits. However, if you are going to winter, make sure you do pack accordingly, because European winters can get very cold very fast, especially depending on which part of Europe you are traveling to. This leads into my tip number 2. No, that's 4. Tip number 2, make sure to pack light. If you are planning to do like a whole Europe trip where you do more than 2 or 3 countries at a time, which is what we did, then I would recommend packing light. If you are just sticking to one country in one specific area, or maybe just going to 2 areas, then you could probably get away with grabbing a full on luggage. However, I do recommend, if you are able to do this, yes, being a minimalist for this trip will not hurt you. It will actually save your butt. Trying to lug around a ginormous suitcase everywhere is not the move, in my opinion. I am more than happy that we brought carry-ons. Even then, it was still a struggle for me. If I just had a backpack, that would have made my life easier, but your girl has needs and a backpack is not enough for me. Shout out to all of my backpackers out there who's able to do that, because girl, that ain't me. But if you can get away with a carry-on, because especially if you're going to be taking trains, different flights, you're going to be traveling from one place to another, please do yourself a favor, make your life easier. If you can, just a backpack or a carry-on and a backpack. It will save you a lot. It's nicer to just have your ginormous suitcase and bring all your necessities, but the less is more, you guys. Less is more. Speaking of trains and flights, let's make sure that you guys book those ahead of time. We planned our trip super last minute to Europe. With that, we also booked our trains and flights last minute. And let me tell you, it was such a hassle trying to find cheap train tickets. We wanted to originally do train tickets to every country. However, prices were skyrocketed because we waited so last minute. It was cheaper to actually get a flight instead for some of them. And flights, I feel like, are more hassles than traveling by train in Europe. So if you can travel by train, I highly, highly recommend you doing that instead of trying to do it by flight. So please, if you're gonna book by train, please do that ahead of time. There was even one instances where we booked so last minute that the flight and the train were both just way too expensive. They were asking for way too much. I was like, no. So we booked a bus, a 6-hour bus ride through the night for $30. Yes, $30. Was I sleep deprived, cranky, and was that bus uncomfortable? Yes, yes, and yes. So I would have much rather saved my time and taken the train instead. But you know, a girl's gotta save money. How a girl's gotta save money. This leads me into my tip number 4. Please do not carry your passport around while you are exploring the city or going out into town. If you can, please leave your passports in your hotel, your hostel, your Airbnb, wherever that relates to you, please leave it behind. You will be thankful if anything happens. God forbid that happens, but you just never know. If something happens to that passport, then you are stuck. You're gonna be having a much longer Europe trip than you anticipated. Luckily, that has never happened to me. However, I do know someone that it did happen to while she was traveling to South America. Let me just say, she was stuck there for a few months, and we don't want that to happen to you guys. So if you have like a locker, somewhere you can lock it up, or a safe wherever you're staying, please just lock it in there. Keep it safe and sound. Also, bring the amount of cash that you need for the day. You don't need to bring all of your cash. As bringing all your cash, that is just asking for scammers, pickpocketers, and robbers to come. If you want to hear more about that story, I will link my vlog down below about how we got pickpocketed in Paris. I can also post a video on my YouTube channel. Please comment down below if that's something you'd like to see. Only bring what you need and what's necessary. Don't bring valuables. Just be smart overall, because you just don't know what can happen at any given moment. You're in a foreign country and you don't really know anybody. Trust no one, you guys. Trust no one. On to my next tip. This is not a must, but it is a recommendation that you book all of your museums and activities ahead of time, because one, you can save time by not waiting in long queues. Two, you'll just have a peace of mind of when you can go and kind of schedule your day around better. As sometimes museums, depending how popular it is, they can have really long queues. Having to wait in those is not fun, especially if you're in a hurry, you're not going to have time. Just save yourself the time and the effort, and that way you can kind of have an idea of what you want to do. Look into where you're going first. Some places you can get away with buying at the door, not a problem, but for the bigger, more popular ones, I would absolutely recommend booking ahead. All the websites recommend booking ahead. I didn't have a problem booking ahead. I got everything done quick and easy, so you can too if you just book ahead. If you are going to a country where the people barely speak English, please learn some phrases, do a little bit of research. For example, I went to Paris, Amsterdam, and London. Amsterdam and London both were known to speak good English. Obviously, the London are English, so they speak English. Amsterdam, you won't find a problem finding anybody who doesn't speak English. Pretty much everybody speaks English there. However, Paris is a whole nother ball game. Yes, there are people there who can speak English, and yes, there are people who can help you out. They do not prefer to speak English to you, and some people might even give you dirty looks for not trying to speak their language. So learn whatever phrases you can. I tried to learn just like main phrases. They will appreciate you for even trying. Just try your best. I know you might sound silly, but it will come a long way. They will be much nicer to you, and they will appreciate the effort. All right, and for my last tip, save your money by taking metros or the train systems. Most places in Europe do have a good metro system or a train system that you can take. It is very affordable. It is very affordable and easy to use. You just go in, you get your ticket. They could help you for however day. You could get like 1, 2, 3 day pass. Usually most train stations have it. Really easy. Follow the signs. I just used Google Maps, and they give you like a train schedule and exactly which line to get on and which one to get off. Came in handy. I didn't have a single problem trying to figure it out. Yeah, I know a lot of places work like that. London was the same. Amsterdam was the same. You could absolutely just use Google Maps on any of those, and it'll tell you like what time each train is arriving and where is the closest station to you. I would recommend doing this over Ubering because one, traffic can get really bad in major cities if that's what you're planning to do. Ubers can also get really expensive. Or even times where Ubers were not available and we'd have to take a taxi, and I don't know, I'd be getting sketched out with taxi. You can save a lot of time and a lot of money sometimes by taking the train systems. They are there, and it's a fast and convenient way of travel for a lot of Europeans. All right, and that is all for my little tips when you are traveling Europe in 2023. If you like this video, please do your girl a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. It would really, really help me out, and I would appreciate it since I am a small, wanting to grow channel. I would appreciate the support. I will be posting new travel, Disney, self-help guides, and just a lot more fun and informative content. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you that watch this, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, my loves. Mwah.